I
different side of
know
Tom.
what we just watched. Back with my youngest brother, Brett. If I was black, let's get into it.
If I was black, probably wouldn't with anyone who's white, cause that slavery would honestly always be on my mind. If I was black, probably wouldn't ever wanna drive, cause if police pull me over, I might go around and die. If I was black, I won't lie.
This is very intense.
Okay, what is he doing here? I'm getting some real artistic vibes. Because if I was black, I probably wouldn't mess with anyone who was white. If I was black, I'd be afraid to drive because the police might pull you or might die. I feel like that's not true. You know what I mean? So is he like trolling, or is he really saying, or maybe he's trying to understand that, because that perspective does exist. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just like, well, there is a perspective where people really are afraid to drive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm black, and I wouldn't be afraid to drive if I was black. Well, I am black. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mess with white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, try and run a business, and you're only gonna deal in the black community with your business. Try it. I do. Let me know how it turns out. You know what I'm saying? I like doing business with everybody. Everybody. So I wonder what he's doing. I feel like he's doing some. I think he's taking that one perspective, like the very loud voice we hear all the time in the media, like that perspective. He's trying to live in those shoes or something.
Would honestly always be on my mind. If I was black, probably wouldn't ever want to drive, cause if police pull me over, I might go around and die. If I was black, I won't lie, I'd be scared to walk at night. The whole neighborhood is tripping like I'm out committing crimes. I'd be pissed at all these cracker rappers singing about my life. Stole my music, stole my style, give it back, that is mine. If I was black, just look at the facts. We don't stand a chance. 1 in 3 is locked away, over half don't know they dead. See, white privilege ain't a money thing, but it's white people who are running things. Y'all benefit from.
Okay, before he gets in this white privilege part. Okay, I feel like he's. I don't know what vibe are you guys getting? Because I'm trolling is not the right word. I don't think he's trolling. I really don't. But I feel like he's just taking a certain perspective.
I don't know yet. I need to see more.
You get what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah, I think I need to see more, but I do feel like he is trying to take that perspective, and maybe like articulate what all comes with that, like what all, is with that perspective.
Right. I thought we were coming to some if I was black, be like, oh yeah, if I was black, yeah, I'm black, I agree. That's what people he's saying a bunch of stuff I don't feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't know they dead. See, white privilege ain't a money thing, but it's white people who are running things. Y'all benefit from your coloring. My pigment produce suffering is all white pride, white power, white lies, white houses, white guys, whitewashing. My brothers, my sisters, my culture while I'm watching. If I was black, I'd probably hate myself from they say. Racism made me racist, and I am not the one to blame. Hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you...
Okay, he's messing around. He's messing around. Like, racism made me racist and all that kind of... Like, he doesn't think that, like, black people should feel, oh, it's okay to be racist because racism exists. So I have to be racist against racism. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's... I don't have the perfect word for this. Not trolling. Like, I was like kind of playing around, messing around with the perspective and playing with it or something, doing some artsy stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay. I'm saying he clearly... I know he doesn't believe... It's okay to be racist because there is racism. So be anti-racist. That's basically what he's saying. Racism made me racist. If I was black, I'd be like, racism made me racist. But I feel like, okay, he's probably going into this perspective of being black, like a certain narrative, it's very pushed in the mainstream. And my guess is by the end of the song, he's going to go from that narrative to like a better way, like correcting that narrative. That's my guess. That's my prediction. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to do that. I feel like he's going to somehow make it make sense.
Right.
But at this point, he is just saying all the things that come with that narrative of being black, like the kind of like mainstream, just a narrative people that might not even know a black person, what they think it's like to be black. He's just rolling with that. That's what it seems like. Because
like I'm sure he knows that not every black person walking around at night, everyone looks at them like they're a criminal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like I'd be afraid to walk around at night because everyone thinks I'm a criminal. And I get that perspective, like that does happen, but like not every black person walks around feeling like everyone looks like a criminal. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I think he's going from that perspective, getting in the shoes of that perspective, and then let's see where he takes it. That's my guess on where we're going.
They say racism made me racist, and I am not the one to blame. Hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you feel safe. Y'all been using words they made for us when we were slaves. Hey, wait, whoa. I know that was long ago. If I was black, I'd want my reparation money paid. If I was black, I'd take the police. I'd take the whole clan. I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I'd put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm broke, you will know when I speak. If I was black, it's my face on a T. R.I.P. underneath, on my name next to free. If I was black, I would die in these streets just to speak in my mind because I had a dream. If I was black. If I was black, probably wouldn't ever do my taxes. Why support a government that persecute my blackness or pay the
What?
I was like, did anybody else notice that?
What is going on?
This is so odd.
If I was black, I would probably never do my taxes. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna turn this ship around.
I don't think so. I think it's a sinking ship.
He's still rolling with it. He still
He's
is.
going strong. He's going strong.
If I was black, probably wouldn't ever do my taxes. Why support a government that persecute my blackness or pay the wage of law enforcement putting us in caskets or help to build the prisons that we trapped in? If I was black, I'd be mad. People glorify the trap while we dying every day, fighting for everything we have. It ain't diamond chains or racks, this is systematic plan. They put us in the ghetto, gave us HIV and crack. If I was black, I'd hate America, appropriate my character, and sell it to Caucasians who wish they were from our area. If I was black, I wouldn't give a about the greater good. My grandma can't afford a rent, y'all gentrified our neighborhood. Our lives matter, so stupid, y'all hijacking our movement. Black lives matter cause we losing innocent youth to police shootings. If I was black, the only role models.
This is very odd.
It's very artistic.
It is.
I don't know what to think of it right
me
now.
either. Because I partially feel like he's trolling. I partially feel like some of these things are true sentiments, but like the whole
like the glorifying drugs and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Plus the whole crack epidemic, government involvement crap.
The whole like wishing rappers
the
didn't.
gentrification.
Wishing rappers didn't promote living in the area because it's hard. Like nobody wants to be there. Like a lot of that is true. Even like the sort of, I feel like the angle, like it's basically all together. It's too much. You know what I mean? But like isolated things, it's like, well, there are problems.
Lives matter cause we losing innocent youth to police shootings. If I was black, the only role models I'm shown is the rich black rappers pushing guns and drugs and hoes. Yeah, hey, y'all won't say it to my face. In the circles you feel safe. Y'all been using words they made for us when we were slaves. Hey, wait, whoa, I know that was long ago. If I was black, I'd want my reparation money paid. If I was black, I'd take the police, I'd take the whole clan, I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm broke, you will know when I speak. If I was black, it's my face on a T. R.I.P. underneath.
What are you laughing at?
He said, if I was black, I put gold on my teeth. So if I'm broke, you would know when I speak. Or something. If you think I'm broke, you would know when I speak.
Okay, let's see. We still got a minute left to save this.
This is wild. This is like, I like the artistic approach, though.
It's very, a lot of effort. He gave a good effort.
But I don't even feel like he believes all of it.
But this is probably what he sees people talking about what it's like to be black. He doesn't know what it's like to be black. So what he sees in the media is like, oh, this is what it's like to be black. Black people feel like this, feel like this, feel like this. And it's like, yeah, some do. Some do feel like that. So I get it.
So this to me is like all these different black perspectives put into one video. But like when you get to meet black people and get to know them, like a couple of these things will fit different types of people. But it's not going to be all these things at once.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there's also people that like won't agree with any of what he said.
Facts.
Right.
Like he doesn't.
But that's few and far between.
Right.
Right. Probably.
It's becoming more, but it's like not like that many. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If I was black, it's my face on a T. R.I.P. underneath, on my name next to free. If I was black, I would die in the streets just to speak in my mind.
Free Weezy.
Yeah. If I was black, you'd attack when I say I'm proud, cause you're mad that you ain't allowed. If I was black, y'all ever tried to take me down, one fist in the air, I would stay my ground. If I was black, I'd take the police, I'd take the whole clan, I'd put holes in their sheets. If I was black, I'd put gold on my teeth. So if you think I'm broke, you will know when I speak. If I was black, it's my face on a T. R.I.P. underneath, on my name next to free. If I was black, I would die in these streets just to speak in my mind because I had a dream. If
Okay.
I don't know what we just watched.
That was
what to think about it.
He's an artist. That was
dang,
like,
am I not doing black right?
right? I mean, but the weird thing is, like, he didn't say anything that I thought was like what people think of black people. Like, there are black people who fit just about everything he said.
Yes,
but
and like Bert said, also black people fit none of it.
Right.
But there's some also that probably fit all of it.
Oh yeah,
like,
right.
We have some relatives that fit
like,
all of it.
oh yeah.
Do we
Right.
not?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
true.
of that was
We do.
true, 100%.
But I feel like all of it, because there was a part of it to me that was like, you know, we resist, you know, the whole rap culture and everything, trying to like get people to live this gang thug life. It's not good for us. You know what I mean? My grandma can't even pay her bills, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like this sort of like, here's the true problems in the community. We be killing each other and all this stuff. And I feel like the same people who are like, I'm black and I'm proud and like fist up in the air, F the police, those people don't really mind rap music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this to me is like if he took all the black archetypes and mushed them into like one. Because I feel like most black people do not fit all that.
All of it? Well, I mean, I would say most black people do their taxes. So I would have to agree on that one point alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they might still feel like, why should I? Because how much they don't trust.
I think a lot of people do feel like that.
I felt like Tom didn't put his own, like, opinion into it.
Right.
It was just like all the media about black people.
But maybe that was the art
point,
of the song.
yeah.
He was just like trying to show what a lot of people feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like show his audience what a lot of black people feel like.
Yeah. Oh, well, see.
Like if you're gonna have a conversation with people and you want to have like open-minded conversation, it would help if you know who you're talking to feels like. And not all black people feel like that, but some of the people who are allowed on social media may feel like that. So they're coming from that perspective. Maybe it was something like that. I don't know.
I feel like he was mocking how the media portrays black people. Like, I feel like he was saying all these things are basically what every other community is being told black people are like.
Yeah, I feel like that same way.
And if you put all that together, it sounds like a really, like, wild, you know, uncooperative, unhappy person.
I feel like it was just a big experiment for him. Like, I feel like maybe he just said to himself, I'm going to record what the media is just saying what it would be like being black, or what I've been hearing about what it's like to be in a black person's shoes, and maybe he just recorded it for just 30 days, and this is just all of what he got from it. And maybe that's just what it is.
As a black person looking at this, like if I'm looking at this, like hopefully y'all don't think black people are like this. I mean, there are parts of it, yes, but like
some are
all together in one like grouping. I feel like it was just a little bit of like the woke people, and then a little bit of like the people who are like, wait, we do have some real stuff we need to address. And I don't feel like those usually are merged.
But let's be honest, are most black people not woke?
Yes, but they're not usually acknowledging real problems within the community that we're responsible for fixing. Like those woke people.
But I feel like most of the song is about the wokeness.
Yeah, true. But then, like, free such and such, I feel like those people, like, you know what I mean? Like,
most black people are not free, insert a person's name in prison. That's not most.
To show you, if you think I'm broke. Like, it's literally, like, there's levels to this.
Yeah, that's some ghetto hood
and
stuff.
that stuff is the F the police. It's like, that's a whole different community.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's like, even within our families and stuff. Like
this song should be called If I Was Ghetto Black.
Yeah.
It was more of a lot of ghetto stuff.
And ghetto black, I don't even feel like ghetto black is the majority.
It's not.
Like poor, yeah, sure. Lower middle class, yeah, sure. But
there's a difference between poor and ghetto.
Ghetto is not. Like the majority of black people, like, not ghetto.
Right. At least from my experience, no.
No, that's just a subculture, like a urban metropolitan kind of subculture.
One. It's a glorified one.
It's the one, glorified, definitely. The mainstream one.
Even like I think about all the relatives, like my grandma's siblings and their kids and all this stuff. Like out of all of them, there's very few that are like ghetto. You know what I mean? They're poor, uneducated, whatever, but they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely a subculture. It's definitely not the only.
Right.
But it is very glorified to where like if you're any other race, you probably look at this like that's black. It's like.
I mean, this
it's
song,
tough.
part of it was like ghetto black. Another part of it was like if I was victim black.
Right, the woke.
You know what I mean? If I was woke black.
Yeah.
But if I was black, what I would do is I would just forget that I was black. That's what I would do if I was black. I would just forget.
What do you mean?
I mean, if I was a black person, I would just forget that I was black.
Wait, but you are.
I forgot.
What?
That's what I do like every day. I literally don't think about being black. I just feel like a human being.
Yeah.
I feel like an American. I just live my life like that. I'm not afraid of a Confederate flag or a Trump hat. Right. I don't care. Everyone's pretty nice. There's probably a few racist people here and there. I just don't encounter them. I don't know. I know it exists. I just don't happen to run into them. No matter what flag they fly or hat they wear, most people are pretty nice to me. I don't walk around thinking about, I'm black, I can do this, I can't do that. I just do what I want to do, and I don't want to do anything crazy that's going to put my life in jeopardy. You know what I mean? So I just don't really think about being black. I just live my life and do what I want to do.
It's not relevant in most situations.
Right, it's really not.
But I feel like this being like a media commentary, like this is in a way kind of sad because I feel like it's created this sort of like picture of what a black person is. And then you've got all these other ethnicities consuming like sort of stereotypes of like what a black person is. So then it's like you go and have a conversation with somebody and you think you know who you're talking to. And this is actually like a sort of caricature of a black person. Right. It's not like a realistic black person.
If I was black, I would not limit myself based on stereotypes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what limits do we have placed on us for being black? Like, what should we do differently?
Only the media.
Right, but I'm saying, like, in everyday life, what do you do differently because you're black, so you have to do it differently?
Just be aware that people think black people act a fool, and, like, everyone thinks it. So, like, being aware of that, you, like, know you walk in a situation with a reputation already, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know you're going to be associated with what the media tells everyone, so you have to, like, overcome people's, like, presuppositions about who you are.
Yeah, but, I mean, I guess that's the tricky part, though, because, like, even with, like, his meaning behind doing this, like, it's just because there actually are a lot of people that are black that believe their stereotypes, you know? Like,
that's true.
Who else would, like, be listening to a song of them being stereotyped and just be like, yeah, that's really some, but maybe not so much. I don't know. Or maybe people would. Yeah. I'm not sure. But I just feel like that's the weirdest thing is that so many people actually believe those stereotypes.
That is they're literally brainwashed into being someone that, it's just like the weirdest thing. They're not raised that way. They're not born that way. Like, it's literally, they're brainwashed into believing the if I was black narrative. And it's not even like, it's like you can tell they're brainwashed into it because they don't, like, their actions don't always match it. Like, they contradict themselves all the time.
And then apparently that's what makes you woke, too. So you can see the pressures to having to believe it. Or just how you just would naturally assume that's true. Right. That's what's being, you know, that's what's correct. To believe that.
The more you can fit the stereotypes, the more woke you are. Right. It's so
weird. But only in that scenario, only for that. I don't see that elsewhere too often. To where
we live in a very weird culture.
Very. Yeah. But really, the best thing about being black is that this is what people think that being black is. So, like, as a black person, you could do less than a white person, but you get brownie points. No, this is real. I talk about this all the time. It's really easy being black. Because if you don't fit that stereotype, you're not a super thug, this, and that. Oh, tear down the system, all this stuff. Then, like, you're an exceptional black and your life is very easy. It's easy to get a job because people got to fill these diversity quotas and all that stuff. I call it black privilege. If you're just black, you have your head on straight, speak decent English, do decent stuff. You know what I mean? Not in the streets.
Isn't that ironic?
Get a degree or don't even get a degree, but just like present yourself decently. Yeah. That's all you got to do and you will excel.
But it's ironic. It still can be work though. Because it's kind of like what immigrants do. Like you could be coming from another country and you're applying for a job and say like you're from a country that's native language is like Mandarin or something. They could be expecting maybe a super thick accent. Right. You know, it's your first time coming to America and then the person could pull up, hello, my name is John, like have complete no accent at all, and it would still shock people maybe a little. Yeah.
But I feel like they're not going to get brownie points.
That's true.
Like, when you're black and you just do, like, normal stuff, you get brownie points. Like, we were working this job for this lady. Like, we have a little business, right? So we had to go to her house 3 days in a row. So we were doing a job. We came on time for 3 days, and she's like, oh, my goodness, you guys are so punctual. And I mean, I had to think, like, okay, she said to everyone who's on time in 3 days, or was it because I was black? It's like, being on time is a very easy thing, but let's be honest, in the black community, being on time is, what's time anyway? You know what I mean? So I'm like,
kind
dang,
of a construct.
I'm getting a compliment for being on time 3 days in a row. Like, that should be expected of me. If you're doing a job, you should always be on time.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like I got brownie points just for being on time.
Right.
It's like, I'm exceptional now for being on time.
Yeah, it's ironic because white privilege is like the main thing we hear all the time. But it's like, actually, I think to be just a regular white person, you have to do so much more.
Right.
To like get ahead of other white people than like to be black. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not even just like to get ahead of other white people, just like, businesses have to have their diversity hires.
Right.
So it's like being black, you're almost just competing in that black field for that black higher spot. Yeah. But being white, you're competing in that whole field of white people.
Yeah.
And you don't get brownie points for just doing basic stuff.
Yeah.
That is true. It's like a lower standard.
Right.
So it's like, even in a sense like that, it's still, even when it comes to that, it's a lower standard.
It's like, I don't hold myself to a black standard. I hold myself to my own standard, which is like up here, you know what I mean? So it's like, if this is what people think of as black people, and I'm not operating on a black standard, I'm operating my own standard, I'm going to do really well in life. I'm going to be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
This definitely gets you talking, this video.
Right.
This video is very odd. It's different than anything we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an odd video.
I feel like art is sometimes just like, a piece of artwork on the table, like a centerpiece just gets you talking. I feel like he didn't say, like most of these videos, he says what he thinks, but maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, the song was interesting. Since we've seen a lot of his stuff, I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt on the song. Yeah. It was weird to me. It was interesting. I didn't love it. You know what I mean? Like, what is this?
It was strange.
Right. But it was like, I just don't know his angle. I didn't know where he was coming from and like what he was trying to do with the song. Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of his stuff, so I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. He was just trying to put himself in those shoes based on the media.
What if in all his music, he literally is not saying his opinion. He's just stating, like, basically reflecting life. Like, whatever the state people, are experiencing, even in the conservative kind of stuff that he does, I feel like he's not really political. He's just saying this is what's happening.
Well, if he was going to reflect life, then I feel like a bigger, like, sample size of black people to get research on what it's like to be black. That's why I don't think that was really the goal. I think it was to reflect a certain element of the black community.
Or the media.
I feel like what he did is you can take a book of that one perspective of what it's like being black, and on every chapter, it's something he said. There's gentrification, and there's this and that. He could have just gone through the table of contents. These are all the different chapters according to this one ideology.
Yeah. He missed a bunch of notes though, because it was like the sort of the negative media perspective of being black. But like when you're like living as a black person, like 70 to 99% of your experience is going to be like other stuff, like positive.
Right, like if I was black, I'd probably have big family dinners with like 20 people and then play cards all night and kick it. Just have fun. You know what I mean? It's like just other stuff too. If you had to put a percentage, you know what I mean? A percentage. Like is it 50-50 into all the whole victim narrative stuff, woe is me? Or just like living life like a person?
Well, I mean, total, definitely. I feel like it's more than 50.
That's what I would think too.
More than 50. It's a very small percentage, it seems like, that don't agree with it, that are very vocal about it. But they're typically they're the ones that don't express their, how they feel because it's so different.
They're the ones when you post a status on Facebook, they hit your DMs, not the comments on the status, because they can't tell anyone how they feel. You know what I mean?
Right. The weird thing to me, though, is just like, you have like, I agree, the majority support it. But then when you look at their daily lives, they go to work, they have kids, they have friends, they go out to lunch, like whatever. It's like they are not saying F the police at all. You know what I mean? Like they're literally in contradiction with like what they think they support and like how they live. They're going and shopping at all the major stores. They're not supporting black-owned businesses. Right. You know what I mean? They're going and like they're literally living a completely different life than what they support.
Jekyll and Hyde.
No, definitely.
It's real strange.
It is. I support businesses that do good business, which I feel like that's kind of how it should be.
Right.
You should reward a business for doing good business, not because of the skin color of the owner or whatever. You can support any business you want. You're a free country. Do whatever you want. Skin color, whatever. Support whatever business you want. But I'm just going to businesses that do good business, do right by me. It is what it is.
Right. I agree. It's based on your service. Like, would you want someone operating on you just because of how they look and how good they are? Like,
no.
You know, in what other way would you want someone building your whole house just because of how they look and not because how qualified they are? In what way would you logically want that? So even getting fed that so often, and you know, even looking up where's the nearest one of me, and then going there, it's all about the experience. Like when you go somewhere, it's not about how someone looks, and because oftentimes they look different than you anyway.
And to piggyback off what you're saying, sometimes stereotypes, I feel like, help people. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you get a good reputation for things based on your culture or whatever, and I feel like we should be able to run with that and love it. And you know what I mean? Moral of the story, never think that you know someone, including yourself.
Okay. Anyway, back to the blackness. We're in the blackness right now. I would say one of the hardest parts about being black is dealing with other black people not accepting you for not thinking like them. Mm-hmm. That's actually a bigger obstacle for me than just being out in the world trying to succeed. You know what I mean? Like being not black enough because you don't agree with burning down cities. You know what I mean? Like,
and nowadays you got other cultures revoking your blackness because you don't agree with. It's like, how did you do that?
It's like, wait, a white girl wants to burn down a city for Black Lives Matter, and I don't, and so no, I'm not black enough.
And she is.
She's blacker than me. Like,
okay. Yeah.
It's crazy times. It's crazy times.
Upside down world.
Wow, I just feel like I just watch mainstream media for just watching that video. I was just watching the mainstream media without blinking for a month. Just staring at it. Because
I feel like when you sit down with someone and you do a deep dive into any one of these topics and explain it to them in the research, I feel like they would get it to a certain degree, even though they still may not give in, but they'll give up some points. Like, okay, you got a point there. Okay, I didn't know they supported that or they did this. I didn't know they want to destroy a nuclear family. Okay, but it's still.
Why you gotta use that voice though?
But it's still a good message because it's spreading awareness about racism. So I still support the movement, but I didn't know, you know, they hate families and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's true.
Like they'll be like, okay, I get what you're saying, but most people don't think like you. And you get that one a lot too. You know what I mean?
But there's still a lot of them do have those conservative values. They don't realize that all of that comes with it. Those are the goals. So it is interesting, but unfortunately there's a lot of stereotypes and people do believe them. So that's why he's able to, you know, make this video and just put your own stereotypes on there. And most of the people, the watchers, are probably not, but most people of that race might actually believe it and might actually think that it's unique in that way. I mean, I'm trying to find out why.
Stereotypes exist for a reason. They don't just come out of thin air. You know what I mean?
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everyone else is like, no, it's true. We believe a lot of ours too. Or maybe I could be wrong. But I just feel like it's different, as in people do believe that.
Right. I mean, a lot of stereotypes are true, but then how do you know when they become untrue? Like, when does the tide shift to where most people don't believe a lot of the stereotypes or don't act out those stereotypes in everyday life? You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Right. From the passenger seat or from second person? Like looking at the person's?
No. I mean, so like take any one of these. Take, if I was black, I wouldn't mess with white people. What's a better one?
I would wear gold teeth to let people know I'm not broke.
Okay, so that's a good one because it's kind of trivial. Not most people don't do that. But let's say 60% of black people wore gold teeth to be loud and whatnot. Okay. So it's like, okay, that's a stereotype we have as black people. We wear gold teeth. Stereotype. Okay, let's say now it's down to 10% of black people wear gold teeth. The stereotype is still there. When does the stereotype go away?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because that's actually not a stereotype at that point.
Right, but I'm saying a lot of stereotypes are stereotypes just because people don't like generalizing big groups of people. But a lot of the stereotypes are actually true. Right. Just in general, with a bunch of different groups of people. Right. A lot of stereotypes are true. They don't just appear. No one just makes a meme and, oh, now there's a stereotype. They come from people's experience. Right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the word stereotype, kind of a funny word because a lot of times it's true. Right. So I'm saying, when does that stereotype become untrue? It has to become untrue before the stereotype disappears. But I'm saying, when does it become untrue and when does the stereotype disappear? Or does it ever disappear? Or is it just like common knowledge? Like, oh, this race is like this.
I think maybe if you're just hit with the opposite enough every day and just maybe
that's one person.
Right.
It's like people know not every single person of any group fits the stereotype of that group.
When do they go away? I'm not sure.
That's a good question.
That's why they need political correctness. They feel like maybe.
And isn't it so weird? I just think it's so ironic that like we all have these conversations behind closed doors. Like everyone across the world that has generalizations and whatever, but in public we love to call people a racist,
right?
And we love to tell people you can say this, but you can't do this. But you know what I mean? Like we love to.
I already know there's gonna be some comments people mad about saying, right? A lot of times you support black business, you have bad experience. Not on time, all this stuff. But, like, we all talk about that behind closed doors. Like, I hear it from so many different people. It's not even funny.
Right?
It's not even funny.
I feel like it's like if we ever are going to get to, like, the real issues in society and not these, like, artificial, like, whiny, complaining things, then, like, we literally have to address the things we address behind closed doors.
Like, everyone's so sensitive.
Yeah. Like,
and everyone wants to act like they're so, like, high and mighty. You know what I mean? Like, online and stuff.
Right. It's like, because we all recognize it and we all talk about it. You know, we just don't want to be the first one to say it, I guess, but... It's not helping anyone.
But I feel like there's like several different type of people. Like some people, when they hear something that's true but it's not nice to say, they're like, well, that's true. And the other people know it's true, and then they'll act like it's not for their reputation. You know what I mean?
And that is, to me, I don't know if that is like, I feel like that can sometimes be so insidious. Because it seems like, but it's like they're literally being a good person while also like literally screwing that person because they're not being real with it.
Right.
So that person, it's like when you have a big piece of broccoli in between your teeth and no one wants to tell you, so they let you walk around looking a fool with broccoli. You know what I'm saying? They just let you look a hot mess, and then it's like, well, they didn't tell you. It's like, are they a better person for not hurting your feelings or for helping you out so that you look how you want to look?
And it's like, okay, stereotype would be black-owned business not being on time and not having the best service or like inventory and stuff like that, right? That's a stereotype that's often true, but it's not every business. Every black-owned business is not like that. There's plenty of good ones, but there are so many that are like that it becomes a stereotype because of personal experience. You know what I mean? These stereotypes don't come from nowhere.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope that you got to squeeze the juice out of it and really, take it somewhere, do something with it. Comment below your thoughts, your experiences.
Yeah, like what was Tom doing with this video? Like what was his intention?
Yeah.
It is unclear
to me. What did we miss? Like the video. It helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody that you think would be interested in hearing our perspectives. And until next time, that's a wrap.
What's up with it?
Hey, Grandma's still trying to go to this burger joint.
Is it dangerous down there?
What's up?
Is it dangerous down there?
I don't think so.
Nah, I roll. I strap up. You know what I'm saying?
Strap up. We roll deep.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. You to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't know.